Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on 13 Now. My name is Tessa Bentulin. It is 2:30 here on Thursday, June 22nd. I want to start with a story that always seems to kind of come up every so often. It's the Glenville Bridge. It strikes again. Yesterday, another truck thought it could make it under the bridge, and it did not. Danley, we went out to the bridge, and you actually spoke to a neighbor who lives in the area, and he gave you a number of how many times he's seen people go under this bridge and not make it. And I thought this number was a little high, but I mean, maybe not.
This has happened so often over the course of the last 20 years that folks in Glenville have actually lost track of how many times a truck has slammed into that old railroad trestle. Gentleman by the name of Keith Gordon, who has lived there for about 20 years, says it happens all time of the night and day. He has been woken up out of a sound sleep. He estimates a truck has slammed into that bridge at least 400 times, if you can believe that. Now, he says most of the crashes occur and then they just take off before police or anyone else get there. Sometimes it's a professional truck driver, sometimes it's a truck rental, sometimes it's a camper. There are many warning signs along Glen Ridge Road. People know that it's 10 feet, 11 inches, or they should know if they read the signs. Now, perhaps part of the problem is they have no idea how tall their vehicle is. And it has caused many crashes. Fortunately, Tessa, it hasn't resulted in any serious injuries. Now, I did speak with the town supervisor, Chris Ketzel, who tells me, it's just inevitable. Eventually, it will happen. We should also point out that the town is not responsible for that road. It is a state road. The town is not responsible for the train bridge. That's the railroad. The railroad will not raise the bridge. It costs too much money. They can't lower the road because there's a creek that runs underneath it. And so what the state DOT began to do in March was install this laser detection system, which is supposed to forewarn any truck drivers long before they get to the bridge that they're not going to make it. It's in the process right now. It's not up and running yet, but they are convinced that will help reduce all of these incidences significantly.
I guess it's the best thing they can do. And I want to show you some of the video that we had up a little bit earlier. This is from the truck from yesterday that tried to make it under the bridge. It's a Penske truck. And you said that when you were out there was another truck out there today, but what happened?
It happens every day. My photographer and I were out there doing our story, and it was a box truck that pulled over to the side of the road because apparently that driver spotted the 10-foot, 11-inch clearance. He got out, his passenger got out, and they both looked up at the truck, and they shook their heads. They weren't quite sure. They didn't know how tall their truck was, and they walked all the way around it to see if a height was printed on the side. It was not. So I walked over there, and I said, "Hey, what are you going to do?" He said, "Well, I don't know." And I asked, "Do you have a tape measure in the truck?" "Yeah, we do." So they took it out, they put it on the top, and they got down on their knees, and they looked at the bottom, and it came out 10 feet, 4 inches. I said, "I'm not telling you what to do, but it looks like you've got about 4 inches of clearance."
Close,
and so they
though.
got back in the truck, and they inched very, very slowly underneath the bridge. And we got video of this, and folks will see how close it was, but he made it underneath with 6 or 7 inches to spare.
Now that's going to be a really interesting story that you're going to have for a show starting live at 4. I'm very excited to see this, especially because you went through that whole process with them of like figuring out if their truck was going to fit under this. And those signs, they're posted pretty clearly. There's like 3 or 4 of them that says 10 to 11 clearance. So I mean, it just keeps happening over and over. We'll have to see what happens with the flashing red lights. Hopefully it does work. But Dan, thank you so much for joining us, and continue to work on your story. And we'll see you on Live at 4 News Channel 13.
See you later.
All right. Thanks, Dan. All right, moving on now to weather. Officially the first day of summer yesterday, and then today heading into the weekend. It's Thursday, but we have some storms coming in this weekend. I know no one really wants a washout, so let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Paul Caiano. Paul, as we get closer to the weekend, how does the rain look?
Well, I don't think we're going to get through either weekend day dry. I think that we're going to get some rain both days. The question is, are we going to have windows of opportunity for some dry weather? Let's say 2 hours here, an hour there, a couple hours at a time. So that's what we're really working hard on now, is trying to iron that out as we get into the latter portion of the week. So right now it doesn't look fantastic, but we'll see how things evolve over time. Meantime, gorgeous blue sky over Amsterdam right now on the CDPHP first warning cam. It's 77 degrees. You can see temperatures across the region, mainly in the 70s, a couple of places trying to hit that 80-degree mark. In Albany, officially 80 degrees now at the 2 o'clock hour. Just about everyone dry in the first warning live Doppler radar. A couple of specks down in Ulster County and Delaware County, but these are drying out with time. In fact, we had looked at on the computer models a push of moisture that was going to head our way this afternoon. And it does look like most of that is drying out with time. So I think we're going to get through the rest of the day mainly dry. I mean, a couple of spots could get a passing sprinkle, and that'll be really about it. Otherwise, some cloud buildup, but mainly south of I-90, and the rest of us should look good heading into the evening on this Thursday with temperatures hanging out in the upper 70s to around 80. We're watching this disturbance. It's rolling through the mid-Atlantic up toward the Ohio Valley. This is the one that's heading in our direction. Another push of moisture into the day tomorrow, and that's why we've put at least a chance of a couple of showers in the forecast for the afternoon. Again, I'm thinking more of a widely scattered shower than anything too substantial or long-lasting, but a better chance of a few showers tomorrow than today. And another big difference tomorrow is that humidity is really going to start to come up. It'll feel a lot more tropical around here and more of a summer-like feel as we get into Friday afternoon. And that's going to stick with us right through the weekend. So you can see on Friday, not a whole lot going on early in the day, a better chance at a few scattered showers by about 4 or 5 o'clock. And then as we get into Saturday, you'll see more showers start to pop in the afternoon. So this is why I think it's going to be difficult for all of us to escape the weekend dry. Both Saturday and Sunday are looking a bit unsettled. So for this afternoon and into tonight, temperatures will start to drop back into the 60s with mostly cloudy skies and just that passing shower. A few more showers, a rumble of thunder maybe tomorrow, but I think, again, generally dry weather, highs approaching 80 again. 7-day forecast will show a lot of unsettled weather. Doesn't mean it's going to rain the whole time, but certainly there are chances and high chances Saturday, Sunday, Monday, even Tuesday, way out there at 50%. That's a decent chance of some showers and storms. And it looks like finally it's going to take it till later in the week to dry us out. So the big difference here, Tessa, is that this time around with some showers and thunderstorms, it's going to feel like summer with that high humidity and muggy overnight lows in the 60s.
Yeah, it's good to know. And I feel like a lot of people, when they see the 7-day planner, it's kind of jarring because all you see is like thunderstorms and rain, thunderstorms and rain. So it's nice to know that there's going to be pockets of times where you can go outside. It's still going to feel like summer outside. So thank you for joining us on 13 Now.
You got it. We'll update this at 4.
All right. Perfect. Thanks, Paul. And I want to get to one more story before I let you guys go. It's about a 13 Investigate special report that I've been working on for a few months now. It's called the Cannabis Conundrum. I'm going to bring some video up for you.
It really just seems like a lot of the...
Simply, New York State farmers say without a license, they have license to grow marijuana, but they're facing a big issue here.
It really just seems like a lot of the frustration is coming from the same place. We don't have an area where we can sell our product.
So to put it simply, there's a few hundred licenses to grow marijuana, but only a handful of dispensaries in New York State. So it's created this sort of bottleneck. Ryan McCall, as you saw in that soundbite there, he's with Tully Rinke. He's a cannabis lawyer, and he says a crop can only last so long before it goes bad. It kind of has a shelf life, just like some other products like dairy or something you see at the grocery store. So starting live at 4, I investigate the challenges that cannabis growers are facing and what the state has to say about the issue. They declined to do an interview with us, but they did send us a statement. And a lot of farmers do not want to speak on camera because they're scared of jeopardizing what could happen with the state. But a lot of these farmers have gone to the Office of Cannabis Management's monthly meetings and have told them very much how they feel. And a lot of them are angry and very scared about what could happen if more dispensaries don't open up very quickly. So we'll have that statement from OCM, Office of Cannabis Management, starting live at 4. We'll have a discussion about it. And then you'll hear from what the farmers have to say on Live at 5. And then we have a new angle at Live at 6. And it's about not only the licenses, there's another cash burn involved in all of this. So make sure to start watching News Channel 13 starting live at 4. And we'll have more with Chief Meteorologist Paul Caiano on your forecast, with the rain that's coming our way, and on the Glenville Bridge, and much more. Have a great day, everyone, and we hope to see you soon.